Hello everybody, hope everybody's nice and well and tired and ready for bed and ready for a story. Mum is going to read a story about Mervyn the mouse.
Mervyn was a country mouse who lived on old Pete's farm. He nibbled at the corn all day and caused a lot of harm. So one day, whilst feeding, young Mervyn met his fate. The combine sliced his tail clean off and didn't stop to wait. "Oh, wheat germs," stammered Mervyn, staring at his stump. Then he shook his little fist and said, "You silly chump!" Looking red and angry, he ran to show his mother. He asked her what he ought to do and if he'd grow another. Mother stood and listened, then started to explain that once a mouse had lost its tail, it would not grow again. "I feel completely naked," her son began to wail. "How can I face the rest of life with half an inch of tail?" Kissing him upon the nose, his mother took his hand. Then standing Mervyn on a chair, she fetched a rubber band. She tied it to his little stump, and when her task was done, she sent him out to show his friends, who thought it rather fun. "Please don't point," cried Mervyn. "I mind that very much. Those who wish to take a look must promise not to touch." "I promise," shouted Harry. "I think it's very nice." Then taking hold of Mervyn's tail, he pinged him with it twice. Skinny Bill and Lucy Mouse began to do the same, calling all the other mice to join their latest game. "Go away," yelled Mervyn as they gathered in a ring. "Keep your fat hands to yourselves. My tail's not meant to ping." Through the day they teased him. Their point became quite clear. So Mervyn said, "I've had enough. I'm getting out of here." "Please don't go," begged Mother. "It's growing very late." But Mervyn grabbed his little bag and ran out through the gate. All that night he travelled. He had to get away to see his uncle up in town to ask if he could stay. Uncle owned a mouse hole at a very smart hotel. He fed upon the finest food and lived extremely well. Mervyn told his uncle of how he'd lost his tail and how he travelled from the farm through valley, hill and dale. Stroking Mervyn's furry head, he sat him on his knee. He bounced his nephew up and down and gave him milky tea. "You go back to old Pete's farm and face them proud and tall. A rubber tail is best by far than nothing there at all. Being teased is awful. It isn't any fun. Can't I drop them all a line or phone them one by one?" "Calm yourself," said Uncle. "You're getting in a stew. You cannot stay with me, dear boy. There's nothing I can do. You must find courage, Mervyn. Throw out your little chest. Laugh with them and join the fun, and you will come off best." Mervyn stayed there all that night, sharing Uncle's bed. He thought about his talk with him and all the things he'd said. And so it was next morning he left his uncle's house, homeward bound for old Pete's farm, a wiser little mouse. Happily he waved goodbye, though this is not the end, for more adventures lie await just around the bend. That's the end. Good night, everybody. Sleep well.
Bye.
Bye.